back-to-back nights and not allowing a single goal. Oh, by the way, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets the GWG in his 1,000th game. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola with you alongside Benny Thomson, and Matt Kassian is our game analyst. We'll also hear from Reid Wilkins. Special shout out to Dusty Nielsen coming in with the big save. Are you okay, Ben? Are you okay?
No.
What happened? People are getting feisty.
I haven't seen this problem ever, but shout out, obviously, the boss, man, Dusty Nielsen. He knew a way how to stream on YouTube a different way than how we usually do it, so he set it up. But, yeah, that was frustrating, but we got through it.
We're here.
Yep.
We're ready to go. We got a lot of people in tow. Hopefully more join up. And we're off and running, of course, the post-game show presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Join the conversation. Hit us up on the text line, 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Everybody's been doing that as they awaited everything to get ironed out, which it did, thanks to Dusty and Benny working together in unison. Very nicely done, and away we go. I see Cass is ready to rock, so I'm going to rattle off a bunch of texts, and then we'll get Cass's thoughts and Benny's thoughts and everybody's thoughts, and let's start with Dirty Curdy. As the Oilers win at 5-0. Dirty Curdy says Nuge's quick release goal was glorious. Ingram calming. This organization's transformation in goal at every level is a kudos to management. Also noted is the more deployment evenly when it comes to ice time. Team is playing fast. What do you do with Henrique when healthy? His cement boots will not be a welcome sight. Signed, Dirty Curdy. I know, by the way, I had some conversations tonight. No rush on the goaltenders for those wanting answers. It doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything for the moment. Let's go to BDA Boys. Says, in a game like tonight, it is easy to say that Ingram had it easy, but the fact is he made it look easy. Yeah, I thought he made some excellent saves, especially in the second period when you had a little bit of a push there from the St. Louis Blues. Ingram, very aggressive. Notice how far out he gets and cutting down those angles quickly. Yeah. Excellent stuff. Good anticipation from Connor Ingram, picking up his 8th career shutout. First as an Oiler on a very special night. Crowd was into it. But you know what? I had some people being like, "Hey, do you think that was a bit of a snoozer?" I was like, "No. In my mind, I thought that was a decent game for a Sunday night." All right. I'm going to throw out some stats as well from our good friend Brian Swain, and then we're going to get Cass involved and Benny involved. Swain are digging up a bunch here. So, guys, this is the third time the Oilers have shutouts in back-to-back games by different goalies. March 30th, 2023 versus the Kings, Stu Skinner. April 1st, 2023 against the Ducks, Jack Campbell. And then December 7th, 2002 versus the Panthers, where UC Markkanen got the clean sheet. And then December 8th, 2002 against the Atlanta Thrashers. Remember them? From Tommy Salo picking up the shutout. So great stat there from Swainer. And then Swainer adds that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is the 6th player in NHL history to score the game-winning goal on the power play in his 1,000th game. The others are Brian Giunta, Jamie Langenbrunner, Frederick Olesen, Chris Phillips, and Jean Rattel. And then one more to throw at you guys. Third time that the Oilers have had 3 different goalies with the shutout in the same season. The others are 2013-14 when Brizgalov, Dubnyk, and Scrivens all had shutouts for the Oil, and 21-22 when Koskinen, Skinner, and Smith all picked up shutouts. Excellent package of stats from Brian Swain as we welcome in our game analyst, Matt Kassian. Cass, I don't know how much better that one could have gone. That was a great night.
Yeah, for back-to-back games, it's a fantastic night for the Edmonton Oilers. You did exactly what you wanted to do. You were better on the special teams. You controlled the play, and you scored way more goals than they did. So it was may not have been an exciting game with end-to-end action, but if you're the Edmonton Oilers, back-to-back games, yeah. You take that one all day. All day, you take that game. That was a solid game for the Edmonton Oilers.
I want to say this, and I want to get Benny's thoughts, obviously, but I just want to say this. What a comfortable weekend for the Oilers. Yeah. And the fact that they went and took care of business. Okay. And they didn't leave anything that would create stress for the fan base this weekend. They just went and took it. Maybe outside of the first period last game, where it was nothing after one, and they buried 6 on Vancouver. There was no issue. They went and they took care of business. They didn't make it more stressful than it needed to be. And that's a rarity for this team. So good on them. They deserve kudos and praise for that. And I will give it to them. So bravo. You outscore your opposition 11-0, back-to-back nights with a little bit of travel, and you pick up some important points. And you pick up some important points in the Pacific Division last night. And then tonight against a Blues team that had won 2 in a row, by the way, but does struggle mightily on the road. Benny Thomson, after going through the stresses of getting everything sorted out on the technical side, what did you think of the game, pal?
I thought it was a good one. Obviously, I mean, when you beat a team 5-0, it's a pretty good night. And back-to-back shutouts for these goalies that we've talking about. 2 new guys that we were not talking about a month and a half ago. Go back-to-back for shutouts, which is great to see. You play 2 weaker teams this weekend, right? The Vancouver Canucks are not a good team. St. Louis Blues are near the bottom of the Western Conference. You needed to take care of business, like you were saying. They did that. They outscored them 11-0 over this weekend. So, again, check marks all around. You got some more goal scoring. Mangiapane gets a goal coming in he came in the lineup last game, but another depth scoring goal. Lazar, nice little POP off the pad, right to Mangiapane, which was nice to see. I kind of had a feeling that this would be a game where the Oilers would pop off for another big win, just because it was Nuge just 1,000. Like, it seemed like the vibes were high, everyone was happy, everyone's copying Nuge in the warm up and everything. And to me, I just think you no way you can lay an egg after having this whole ceremony, and one of the most loved Oilers gets celebrated before the game. So a great win for the Oilers, and a good chance to make their first 3-game win streak on Tuesday against the New Jersey Devils. You have another opportunity. Don't waste it. Ninth
opportunity for the Oilers to get that done. It is a bit of a costly win for the Oilers. They lose. It was Kasperi Kapanen and Cass. That just looked like he caught a rut or he toe picked there, and he didn't come back in that game. I don't know the extent of the injury. Maybe we'll get an update, but ouch. Like, what do you do? Yeah. What do you do there? How do you even, I don't know. It's just like, what a terrible break.
Yeah. Then there's a lot of people that say he's in a boot. I don't know if there's any truth to that statement or not. It's flying around the nasty chat like crazy, but that is a tough break. And he's playing very, very well too. We're just fortunate that didn't happen during Kapanen Bet Week. We could have changed a whole bunch of stuff with chicken sandwiches and all kinds of Popeyes around the studio. It's a tough one. The first thought I had is, if he doesn't come back or if he's hurt for a significant period of time, is who do you bring in to replace?
Mm-hmm.
Because he kind of just did his own thing in terms of skating speed, being able to kind of balance that aggressive, not necessarily physical, but positional play with fitting in with some of the higher skill players. Like, he's done a really good job of that since coming back. So yeah, it's a tough break. You don't necessarily have a easy fit there, and it's not going to be Adam Henrique, nor should it be.
Right.
So you're kind of like, okay, well, how are they going to work this now, especially with Draisaitl potentially being gone for a couple of days still?
Short term. First of all, this sucks for Kapanen. Like he came in and seemed like he was wanting to put the inconsistent play behind him, wanting to be a consistent guy, and he's been nothing but that in his short time this season from coming back from his injury. Sucks to see him go. If he's out for a little while, it's gonna hurt. With Draisaitl gone, to me, you keep the lines the same. This is there a better time for Quinn Hudson to play? Is there a better time?
This is a great opportunity.
This is the opportunity. Kapanen, your top 6 right winger right now, is out of the lineup, and if he's wearing a boot, like some people are saying, all right, well, that's probably means he's done for a little bit at least. This is your time. You're lighting up the AHL. You have a top 6 spot right there. You want to keep the third line going. They're gaining chemistry. This is this time for them, in my opinion, at least.
But do you feel comfortable just throwing him right in there?
But it's just, where else would he play? Because we've seen him in the bottom six, right? And it does no good for him. He needs time, right? And I understand earn your ice time. I get that, but to me, I feel like it would be a mistake to not at least give him a look there with the injuries that you're dealing with right now, and obviously Draisaitl's leave of absence. So to me, it's a perfect slot, and you keep the lines the same. But I mean, I guess we'll see what they do.
Well, your farm team is in Calgary right now. They did complete a sweep of the Wranglers. By the way, Matt Tompkins, 33 save shutout. Connor Ingram was really good in a 5-1 win a couple of nights ago. So if they need, I don't know if the Condors got out of town right away or if they have to wait till tomorrow to fly out or what their travel plans are. If it helps, they are in province from what I understand right now, unless they got out of Dodge quickly because they did play earlier today at the Saddle Dome. So maybe that helps a little bit, but we'll see what happens, and we'll find out what the extent of the Kapanen injury is eventually. 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Here's an interesting one, guys, because this play came up, and I actually thought that this would have been a goal. And this text says, "Good evening, boys. Just wondering about the Frederick/Nuge chance. I always thought if someone covers the puck in the crease, that it's a penalty shot, but it never gets called. Did the rule change, or does the league just refuse to call it?" Cass, do you remember that play? And if you do, what's your interpretation while I pull out my handy dandy rule book?
Yeah, I think it's
25-26 season behind me.
I don't think it's if you cover the puck in the crease. I think it's if you cover it with your hand.
Hand, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you put your hand on it in the crease.
It was in. Like, it went in, but did they say that they whistled it down?
They whistled it down. Yeah. They said that's what, Kyle Riemann, arch nemesis for a lot of nemesis.
I was like,
nemesis. Yeah.
I was like, why do you know that right away? So
yeah, because I was laughing. I was like, Remy, arch nemesis. No, you know what? I actually was because I had him all my entire junior career. Then I had him the entire AHL career, and then my entire NHL career. He was there the entire way, every league, every. And he was Western guy for those two. So just had Remy a lot. We had a good relationship, a good working relationship. We yelled at each other sometimes, but not that often. I think the justification was that the whistle went. And if the whistle goes, the whistle goes. Now, if the hand, I don't think his hand was on it though. Wasn't it just covering with his body?
I think it was just under him.
Yeah, because you drop on it with your belly. You can drop on it with your belly. Yeah. Now you can spear the guy's belly, right? Like you can basically slash the guy as hard as you want in the stomach if the puck's there and he's not a goaltender. Like, yeah, you can try to dig that thing out, but the whistle went and the puck went in. But the whistle went before it did, and that's that. So no goal. And remember, it's not even when the whistle goes; it's from when the whistle was intended to be blown by officials, right? Like it doesn't have to actually have the sound of it. They have to be thinking about it and like in motion to their mouth. That's when the play is dead.
Yeah, 78.5 disallowed goals. .xii when the referee deems the play has been stopped, even if he had not physically had the opportunity to stop the play by blowing his whistle. Any goal scored other than as covered by the official rules should not be allowed. And then I guess I would have to look up penalty shots for the official ruling on like the hand and covering it up then too, right? But I don't know. I think, first of all, how Trent Frederick couldn't put that in, and then how Ryan Nugent-Hopkins couldn't put that in is mind-blowing. And I know Nick Bukestad's like 7 feet tall, but that was a glorious chance. Didn't matter. They ended up scoring a bunch more after that, and they get the win. So it would have helped on Jay's parlay, though, on Play Alberta, because it would have been another point for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, which didn't happen. He just got the one, ends up being the game-winning goal. So there you go. So unless I go back into this damn rule book, we're just going to leave it at that. But yeah, that was a crazy scramble. Thanks for the question to the texter, Oily Doughboy. Get to hear from Oily Doughboy texting and says, fate of the universe on the line of the Martian, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. You better hit it. I want Josh Brown. Oh, Oily Doughboy. Don't say that.
No.
Don't say that.
No. Not Andre Iguodala, not Josh Brown. No. No.
Right. Coach Mike says, great weekend for the Oil. Hopefully Kapanen injury isn't anything serious. Schedule is very favorable. Next 4 opponents play in Calgary the night before. Any thoughts on the homestand? Minimum 5 wins or more. Coach Mike, this is the kickoff to an 8-gamer. What would you say, boys, to Coach Mike? Cass, you first.
Ooh, good way to kick it off. I would love to see Nate Gamer. They got to get to 3 first, right? They haven't done that yet. So long ways to go, but a good start to it, certainly. Winning a big game against Vancouver, winning big again against the St. Louis Blues, carrying all kinds of momentum here. It's not going to be without its challenges. It's still a lot of hockey, right? Like and we look at a schedule, you had back-to-back games against Chicago, Nashville, then you had travel, then you had a game, day off, game, back to back, and now it's basically playing every second day for the next 4 of these games on the homestand against it is against New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Washington, and Anaheim, I believe. So you got your work cut out for you now. Some of those teams slipping a little bit, some of those teams still playing pretty well. I listen, the way they won those 2 games bodes very well for them. I really like it. I like their jump. It wasn't like they kind of got lucky today.
No.
They outplayed St. Louis handily. Yeah. And same thing against the Vancouver Canucks. So I like how they're positioned to go into it. They just have to not get complacent with a couple big wins and keep that pressure up as they have been playing well. Just keep it rolling.
The Oilers have opened up a nice cushion over Seattle, 7 points. Seattle is 3rd in the Pacific Division. Edmonton sits 2 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Golden Knights have 3 games in hand. Benny, what would you say about this homestand?
To me, I think ideally you grab 6 of 8. Like, to me, you need bank wins, and I understand that's gonna be harder said or easier said than done, but. You got the Devils, Penguins. I mean, they're all teams. Like, there's not a whole lot of teams here that should scare the Oilers. The Minnesota Wild, pretty good this year. That's near the end of that homestand. But I've been talking about how their play's been getting better after that slight lull after the Christmas break. I like to see that good play cash in for some points, especially win streaks. Which once again, you get a chance to have one on Tuesday against the Devils, but even if you lose that one, to me, it's about having a pretty solid record on this 8-game homestand. I think they have a good chance to do it. I think they're favorable matchups in a lot of different games here. So take care of business again. I mean, they've done it all this weekend. Let's see if they do it for the rest of the homestand.
Hey, the New Jersey Devils guys have slipped up. They are, second last in the Eastern Conference right now. They're 4-6 in their last 10 on the road. 12-13-0 is their record. 50 points on the year in 48 games, just 2 points up on the New York Rangers, who are last in the Eastern Conference. And now, if you want to be optimistic and you're a Devils fan, you go, well, you're only 7 points back of the Buffalo Sabres. As we get into the second half of the season more and more, and teams are hitting that 50-game mark, that 7 points seems pretty daunting, Cass. Like, would you say if you were in that scenario in New Jersey, are you starting to get concerned?
Well, yes. I mean, you had the team that's kind of right there with you, the New York Rangers, send a letter to fans and sit down all its leadership and basically be like, hey, we're cleaning house. And Panarin get told that they're going to try to find a place for him that he wants to go. Like, they're cleaning house. Not to say that that's exactly what New Jersey will do, but yeah, it's got to be getting a little bit daunting at this point because we are now hitting the part of the season where teams that know they don't have a shot are going to start selling and trying to get better for next year. And I mean, will New Jersey do that? I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but yeah, it's I think beyond nervous time. It's more panic time, or just not even panic, just acceptance. Maybe it's acceptance time.
Acceptance is not good, but yeah. Ouch. Okay, we got a quick update here from our good friend over at TSN. He's the bureau reporter for Edmonton. He is on the morning mandate with Dusty and Eric on the Nielsen show. Ryan Rashog put this out via X 4 minutes ago on Kapanen. Knobloch says it's not as bad as previous injuries and hopeful it won't be too long. Now, That's Knobloch saying that. How do we interpret it, guys?
Grain of salt, double it.
A Himalayan grain of salt?
Yeah, sure. To me,
Cass, you don't seem amused. Sorry, Benny.
to me,
I saw that look.
Whatever timeline he gives, yeah, I'd expect a little longer with his track record so far this year.
And that's fair. Yeah, well played. Yeah, Cass, you had like a bitter beer face there for a second.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, I should have laughed more, Tom.
No, that's okay. I don't need you to laugh to make me feel better.
No, but I should
hurt a little bit though, but it's all good. All right, so maybe for those thinking worst case scenario, going right into like, oh no, Kapanen's out, and he has been playing pretty good since his return from injury a couple of weeks ago. Maybe a sigh of relief. So that's just a freak accident too. Like that ice is usually pretty damn good. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like a toe pick or a rut or something. And he goes hard into the wall. And next thing you know, he's being helped off the ice and not back for the rest of the game. All right. Keep those texts coming in. 780-218-9999. The Oilers win 5-0 over the St. Louis Blues. A nice weekend for the Orange and Blue, sitting comfortably in second place in the Pacific Division. 2 points back of the Pacific leading Vegas Golden Knights, who made a big trade today, picking up Rasmus Andersson from the Calgary Flames. 50% retention from the Flames on Anderson's contract. They gave up Zach Whitecloud to the Flames, and then a first rounder, a conditional second, and a prospect. So a pretty big deal there. An in-division trade. Cass, you want to hit on that? Are you a little bit surprised?
Yeah, well, the in-division I saw before I saw what was in the trade. I just saw the Anderson going to Vegas, and I was just like, oh. Like you're trading it in division to Vegas. Yeah. I'm like, I wonder what they had to give up. And then I saw it, they gave up because I saw the in division. I'm like, oh, why didn't Edmonton knock on the door? I'm like, you could have used an Anderson if they were willing to trade in division. And then I saw what they gave up and I was like, oh, Edmonton doesn't have that. I was like, no, there's no way Edmonton can make that work. That's a lot for a guy that's a rental, potentially a rental. Like if there's no sign or signing in place, yeah, that's a tough one. If you don't get him signed, like that's expensive. It speaks to where the Vegas Golden Knights are at, and even in the last week or two, since they have been picking up steam and playing very, very well, they're looking at this going like, "Hey, we have an opportunity here to basically replace Pietrangelo." I mean, that's kind of what you're looking to do with it to a certain extent from a defenseman standpoint, and give ourselves another shot. So yeah, but guys, that's expensive. That is expensive, like for a short-term thing. And if that's setting the market for what's out there from a trade standpoint, from an Oilers perspective, ooh boy, things may have just got more expensive. And the Vegas Golden Knights just got better.
Much better.
Benny?
Much better. Yeah, I was saying on pre, like it's I mean, obviously you don't change your mentality for the Oilers when you see your division get better or a top team grabs a guy, but from a bird's eye view, yeah, Vegas just got better. That Pietrangelo loss I got in the summer, obviously with his might be career-ending injury, but for at least this season ending injury, it sucks for them. They were missing someone there. Rasmus Andersson absolutely fills that hole. He's pretty sure he's on that Sweden Olympic team. I'm trying to think of a better word to describe without swearing, but he is a bleep to play against. From just from seeing it on TV. My most hated player in the NHL, to me personally, I can't stand him. But it's why teams love having him. And I imagine Calgary loved having him, and I'm sure Vegas will love having him. The style they play and everything. Yeah, I think he'll slide in well. I'd imagine he probably plays a Hanifin too, a familiar defenseman that he played with in Calgary. So. I'm not shocked at all that Vegas went and did this. Like they're always a team that's in on the hunt on the big fish in the trade market. So yeah, I guess good for them. But the Oilers doesn't really change a whole lot. You're still focused on yourself.
The Golden Knights riding a 7-game winning streak right now, too, by the way. I've seen some of the comments in the nasty chat, kind of chuckling. Andrews, one brain cell, says Vegas overpaid for a rental. It's going to bite them in the future. Jeff Cunningham says the Flames will never be good again. Wow. And Lego Rilla said they did it to piss off the Oilers. And then Get Wrecked says not concerned about Vegas. No Clue says expletive Vegas. And then Chris Gand, I should say, adds Zach Whitecloud is no pushover, boys. He is a great D-man. Yeah. I did say that on the pregame show. They had to give up Whitecloud, who is championship pedigree defenseman. Maybe not a top pairing guy, but pretty damn good veteran blue liner that I would be pretty comfortable putting into all kinds of scenarios in game, all game, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I mean, the Flames get a couple of picks and they get to have that off their mind. And then they also get Zach Whitecloud. So we'll see how their rebuild goes. I don't think too many people really care about it here in Oil Country. What they care about tonight is a 5-0 Oilers victory. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1,000th game, scores his 798th point. Cass, it's too bad he didn't get to 900. I was really hoping that your prediction would have come true. You know what? We talked about it being a pretty good game overall. Defensively, did the Oilers have to do a ton, or was it Connor Ingram basically closing the gaps and making up for lack of defensive lapses? Like, how would you see it?
I thought it was a very clean game defensively for the Edmonton Oilers, where they didn't allow a lot of secondary chances. And aside from one or two, I think there was one really good save there's a couple of really good saves in the third by Ingram, but one or two main opportunities from the slot is like there weren't a lot of free looks for the St. Louis Blues in terms of high danger chances. Now, when they did get them, Ingram made some saves. There's a couple deflections through traffic that he made some saves on that I thought were very, very good. So the answer is both. Like Ingram did play very, very well, absolutely earned the shutout, but I also did like the Edmonton Oilers game defensively. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I like, which was, leads to easier defense in a lot of ways, is guys, they were pretty good at moving the puck and getting it out of their own zone. Mm-hmm. And we talk, as mentioned a couple of times earlier about how they look fast. There's comments about, just leave Adam Henrique when he's hurt. Don't bring him back because the Oilers, they're faster with him. Right. And I don't think it's necessarily just a Henrique thing. I think just as a team, they looked a lot faster because they were moving and transporting the puck much, much cleaner than they have. So, I mean, you have to give credit to the defenseman, I think, in a big part of this game, because they moved the puck well to the forwards, who then transported up the ice, and they spent less time in their own zone and gave up fewer grade A chances. And they, I don't want to say that they have recently, because they played pretty good in the New York Islanders game and the Vancouver game, mm-hmm. but just as a whole, it was a solid defensive game, and they moved the puck very well.
How about this, you guys? You got Zach Hyman having a nice night, right? 2 goals and assist, +3, 17:59 time on ice, 4 shots, 1 block shot. Hyman now, after missing a good chunk of the start of the season, Hyman now finds himself with 19 goals and 12 assists in 31 games played. And tonight, guys, who did he do it in front of? Doug Armstrong.
The GM of the Blues. That's 17 goals in 20 games, I'm pretty sure is the stat for Zach Hyman. That's I saw a tweet, I think during the game, of Sam Bennett scored today, I think, or yesterday, and I was like, Sam Bennett has 13 goals in 25 games. How is this guy not the call up if points hurt for the Olympics? Mm-hmm. And then you go, oh well, Zach Hyman has 17 and 20. I understand that they probably won't go with him. They have an injured list, and I believe Zach Hyman did not make that list. So in my opinion, though, he's the perfect McDavid line mate. And there was a worry if McDavid was going to gain chemistry with anyone, and he kind of didn't all the way up until the gold medal game, until the gold medal goal, or not the gold medal, but the championship goal. They were rotating wingers with McDavid on his line. So if you wanted a guy with chemistry, there's a guy that scored 17 goals in 20 games now in the regular season. I don't think anyone expected Hyman to return back from his injury this good. but he has. So it's a lot of credit to him. He's playing really, really well right now for this team. And when they need a goal, man, it seems like they can count on Zach Hyman to do it.
Cass, do guys talk about stuff like that? Do you think that was a motivating factor for Hyman tonight?
Oh, yeah. Without question. Now, whether they said it out loud or not, I don't know. But did Zach Hyman have that thought? For sure. Did his line mates maybe have a conversation with him about it? Yeah. Would the team have been like, hey, screw that guy, let's show him? Yeah, absolutely they would.
I think you're right. I think you're very right. Since we're on Team Canada, just for S&Gs, guys, taking a look over on the other side of things, the guy who started in goal allowed 5 goals on 28 shots for an .821 save percentage. He made some okay saves or some scrambles, but if we're looking at a Team Canada perspective, how long is the leash for Jordan Binnington?
Man, it can't be very long, can it? Like, I understand, and he has done very well for Canada and did well at the Four Nations and all that, but just continues to struggle this season. I can't imagine that leash is long. I don't feel comfortable with him playing or starting for Team Canada at this point. I mean, do you guys?
Nope.
Yeah. When I'm watching those games in February, it's going to be Logan Thomson, please. And to me, it's not like a switch gets flipped and he's going to be, Stanley Cup winning Jordan Binnington. To me, this has been a long runway of a season now you're going to lead yourself up to in the Olympics of playing bad goaltending. To me, yeah, I mean, this is kind of as much as Binnington's been bad, and we're talking about Hyman, his performance in front of Doug Armstrong. This is kind of an FU to him as like, hey, you're gonna keep taking your guys for this Olympic team that probably shouldn't be making it. Well, I have 17 goals in 20 games. Yeah, it kind of makes look Doug Armstrong. I'd imagine he could be rethinking some of his decisions, but to me, Jordan Binnington, he wins that game for them. The Four Nations has a ridiculous overtime. It bought him a spot on the Olympic roster. It had to have, and proven. It's proven this year. No matter how bad, it bought him a spot. So, yeah, I won't be comfortable with him in Canada's net, but I guess we'll see.
Anywho, I just thought I wanted to get on that because we got to see Binnington, and then we got to see what Hyman did, and then Doug Armstrong was there watching the game. So interesting little tidbit there. All right, text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat. Cass, take a look ahead to Tuesday. Take a look ahead to Thursday. Take a look ahead to this epic 8-game homestand that they have 7 games remaining on. And how do you parse this? Do you go, all right, 2-3 game increments? Like what do you do on this one?
I mean, you're playing every second day. I probably chunk it out. You probably got to go 2-game increments, I think. But I mean, the talk around the dressing room will be game by game.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's what's going to be said. It's not going to be breaking it down in increments. It's game by game. Now, when we may look at this, we may look at it increments, and probably. Yeah, now that I actually think about it, we're probably looking at we'll call it out of conference and in conference increments, right? Where we kind of segment it up into, okay, here's your versus Eastern Conference teams and Western Conference teams, Pacific Division in particular. You're going to be breaking that up because not that you don't care how you do against the East, you do, but those Western Conference games a little bit bigger. Some of the milestone games that Saturday nighter against the Minnesota Wild, which is a little further ahead, granted, but that's the big one that we got circled, I think, for right now on the calendar. That's going to be really fun and fun for me. But looking ahead to that New Jersey game in the immediacy, you have a team that hasn't been playing very well in New Jersey, but still has the capacity to play very, very fast at times. And we have seen New Jersey also at times give the Oilers defensemen some fits because of how aggressively quick they can be up front. So yes. I think it's a transition type of game for Edmonton where you're going to have to adjust to a team that is much more offensively capable than the St. Louis Blues and then the Vancouver Canucks, and even then the Nashville Predators and the New York Islanders. Like it's a group you haven't seen the likes of in a little bit in terms of what they can produce offensively. Like, we really have to go back to, maybe Chicago at times with Bedard, but before that, it's like, I don't think inside the month of January, they have played a team that has the potential to produce as much offense as New Jersey has. Now, they don't do it all the time because they haven't been playing very well, but when they are playing well, it's a dangerous team up front. So for Edmonton, it's being prepared that the two donuts that you've had on back-to-back games now, it's going to be, or have to be, hard fought with a very quick and potentially very dangerous New Jersey Devils team.
3 straight games with a shutout for the Oilers after getting blanked by the New York Islanders, and then they go and take out their frustrations on the Canucks, and then tonight on the St. Louis Blues. Cass, excellent work tonight, my friend. As always, look forward to seeing you this week coming up.
Sounds good, boys.
There you go. There's Matt Kassian, our game analyst, helping us break down Edmonton's 5-0 victory over the St. Louis Blues. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1,000th game, picks up point number 798 when he sniped a nice goal. What a shot that was for Nugent-Hopkins. That ends up being the game winner. It came just 5:55 into this one, his 12th of the season from Bouchard and Wallman. Some quick stats for you. The Oilers power play 1 for 3. PK, very good night, 4 for 4, continues to creep up in the overall standings, and then hits 20-15 in favor of St. Louis. Block shots 21-6 in favor of the Oil, and then 14 giveaways officially for the Oil. St. Louis with 12 takeaways, 5-3 in favor of the Blues. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. We're going to get to Reid's Read shortly. How long is that Hyman interview, Benny? Because I know it's ready to go.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, let's listen to a little bit of Zach Hyman, and we'll come back with Reid's Read. How does that sound?
Let's do it. Okay, here's Zach Hyman from the dressing room tonight.
Then he scores first, taps it on.
Yeah, classic Nuge goal, just a great wrister, quick snapshot, beat him clean, and pretty special when you're able to score. I think I saw a stat. He's like the 10th player scoring his first and 1,000th, which is pretty cool. Pretty amazing.
Your group, 5 games in 7 days. The last 2, you go back-to-back shutouts. What do you say about your team? Like, obviously you scored 11 goals, but about the defensive side?
Yeah, not only that, I think obviously thoughts were with Leo, and anytime a teammate's going through something that he's going through, I think collectively as a group, everyone wants to step up and make it easier for him. He lives and breathes hockey, he lives and breathes this team, and I know it's not easy to being away, and we all are thinking about him. So I think first and foremost to do that in those circumstances is pretty special for our group. And then obviously on a much happier note, to be able to play the way we did for Nuge in his 1,000th. And he's a huge part of it yesterday, huge part of it today, touches all areas of the game. You ask him to play wing, center, power play, penalty kill, it doesn't matter. Just a special player.
So you're scoring quite frequently, which you have done at other points in your career, but what does it feel like, or what are you doing when you're scoring as often?
Going to good spots, playing with a pretty good player. I think goal scoring is very much a confidence thing. It's a feel thing. I've scored a lot of goals with this team, and I think it starts with Connor. He's such a dynamic player. Just try to get open, try to get him the puck in space, and let him do his thing, and then try to complement and find ways to get into scoring positions. And he's pretty good at finding me.
Zach, we've asked you before about the Olympics, but now you're scoring. Do you suppose the management group is taking a little closer look at you than you did before?
The team's set, so in my mind,
White has an injury.
Yeah, but for me, I'm not even thinking about it. I hope that Braden's good to go, and it's an honor to be named to that team, and it'd be unfortunate if anybody missed it for injury. And I'll be cheering for those guys. If by chance there is an injury opening and I get selected, obviously it'd be a huge honor. but that's right now not at the front of my mind. It's just right now it's about helping this team win and doing everything I can. I think I started with a pretty serious injury. It took me a little bit to get my legs under me, and it's tough. Well, yeah.
All right, goals number 18 and 19 for Zach Hyman. Talking about the Olympic thing there as we welcome in Reid Wilkins for Reid's Read, brought to you as always by Ewell, your power play specialist. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. The Oilers were electrical. The Oilers were powerful. They clicked on their power play, and they shut the power out, turned out the lights, whatever you want to say about it, blanked the St. Louis Blues after doing the same to the Vancouver Canucks last night. Reid, what did you make of Hyman and what he had to say about the Olympic thing and his performance in front of Doug Armstrong tonight? Because that was something that came up in the press box when we were watching tonight.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to say anything different. I mean, I thought he handled it very well, and we usually hear Hyman be thoughtful and fairly honest. I mean, it's be an honor to be on the team. He's not on the team. I mean, he mentioned Point by name. He's respectful. He said he hopes he can play, and ultimately said it's not his call, right? So, I mean, he said, well, the GM was in the building tonight, and he kind of laughed. He's like, well, go ask him then. He's picking the team.
Matty would ask him, right?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, he's I thought he should have been on the team. I think he should be on the team. I know there's a lot of great Canadian players. I guess if you're going player for player, I mean, Point's a pretty good all-around player, too. I guess he'd maybe be more of a kind of setup guy than a pure finisher, maybe than Hyman, speaking very generally, I guess. But they're both pretty good players. It would be a great story for Hyman to be put on the team, but I mean, there's only so much he can do about it. He's speaking with his play. So what else can he do? I don't think he's the type of person that would hope for someone to be injured or for another spot to open up. So
great point.
He handled the questions well. He's playing great. I mean, he's playing classic Zach Hyman hockey, right? I mean, most of his goals he's scoring from deflections or digging for the puck in front or just working hard. But as he's shown, he has a bit of a mid-range shot. I mean, like the second goal he got tonight, the one he got against Winnipeg, where he, made a good move to step to the net and then roofed it on Hellebuck. I mean, he's a great hockey player. I mean, he's a true hockey player. Like he's not just good at one or two things. I would say Zach Hyman is very good at all parts of hockey and probably excellent when it comes to net front and intelligence. Like his skating would be very good. His puck play would be very good. His puck protection might be excellent. So the Oilers, I mean, the Oilers are lucky to have him. They have been for a long time. If he makes the Olympic team, great. If not, he gets to rest. And if the Oilers are gonna, they're gonna make the playoffs. But if the Oilers are gonna go on another deep playoff run, he's gonna be a big part of it.
All right, this was a night, Reid, where not only did Ryan Nugent-Hopkins open up the scoring on his 1,000th game, you got a contribution from the fourth line on a nice play set up by Curtis Lazar. Andrew Mangiapane scores. Remember him? He still plays for this team, at least for now. And then you also got a Podkolzin goal on a nice setup from Connor McDavid. Oh, and that was sandwiched in with some Zach Hyman goals as well. To you, was this game just very similar to last night in Vancouver, or did it have some key differences that you think are worth mentioning?
That's a good question. I mean, I think the Blues are kind of reeling a little bit, but they're still better than the Canucks. I mean, I thought the Canucks were atrocious last night.
Totally.
So
I thought the Blues maybe played with a little more gumption, but I mean, we know what the story of their season is, right? I mean, they're not getting any saves from Binnington, who, is probably going to play at least one game at the Olympics, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, I think that we're seeing the standings spread out a little bit. And I think it's funny, right? Because I feel like these are sort of the dog days of the season, right? Like 100%. Games 45 to 65 or, until then it's like, okay, now it's the playoff drive. It's just interesting this year because it's broken up by the Olympics. So we saw a Canucks team absolutely reeling awful yesterday. Are they winless in 10 or 11 now?
11 now, remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, and then, St. Louis is, kind of staying afloat. I think they're 5 out of a playoff spot, but, not really moving the needle too hard. And I think they have don't they have one of the worst goal differentials in the league? Their
goal differential is pretty bad. They are minus.
They have the second worst goal differential to Vancouver, assuming what I'm looking at has been updated here.
Minus 50 or 48 after tonight. Yes, it's updated now.
And the Canucks are minus 50.
Yeah.
So the Oilers contributed to both of those. But I think, so these teams are starting to drop off. I don't think the Blues have lost interest. I think the Canucks have outright lost interest.
Yeah. Totally.
And then, when your manager comes out and says we're rebuilding, you're kind of like, if you're Connor Garland, I'm using him as an example. Like, are you going to block every shot or be a pest against every star player like he usually is? So anyway, but I think the story for me, one of the stories for me out of this week, if you just want to look at these 5 games in 7 nights, is that the Oilers did not allow a lot of goals. They allowed 1 goal against Chicago. They allowed, I'll say, 3 against Nashville. I know the 3-on-3 gal counts as a goal against, but in terms of regulation time, they allowed 3. They allowed 1 against the Islanders and outplayed them quite definitively. And then they get shutouts against the Canucks and the Blues. So 5 goals in regulation time in the last 5 games. So I asked Knobloch about that tonight. He said the puck play has been a lot better, though he called the puck play against Nashville atrocious. So he didn't like that game overall. Yeah, that was kind of a scrambly game, and I guess Jari wasn't awesome in it, but it was also his first game back. He battled and got them into overtime. And then you have these 3 really strong games in a row, where they had more scoring chances and where they got saves,
Yep.
Ingram went toe to toe with, Sorokin, allowed a power play goal, tough break. And then Jari last night and then Ingram tonight. And so this is the thing with the goaltending is, and we've been talking about this a lot, there isn't that back-breaking goal, right? Like there isn't that goal that gives the other team life. Mm-hmm. So it was 3-0 Oilers after the first period instead of being 3-1 or 3-2. You got a massive advantage. And then you don't give up that goal that keeps the other team in it or allows them to extend a lead or play a dog crap period, yet be tied with the Oilers when you were dominated. So that's pretty encouraging, and Ingram is just an amazing story. I think he's up to a .917 save percentage. In a couple of his losses, if you look at the Calgary loss and the Islanders loss, he was still pretty good. And he was asked about it tonight. And he said, life's pretty simple for him. He's in the hotel. His family and his dogs are in Bakersfield. He said, some days I don't even go outside. I just use the pedway and come to the rink. So he's living a simple life right now, and he's making the most of it.
That's working out. I think was that his 8th game or 9th game tonight?
I think that's his 9th. Assuming this is updated, he's 5-3-1.
Yes.
With a 2.22 goals against average and a .917 save percentage.
Right. And I think he's up. I think that's 8 out of 9 games are quality starts, if you will.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good run for him. And the goaltending depth down in Bakersfield doing just fine. Matt Tompkins, I mentioned earlier, picked up the shutout, 33 save shutout in Calgary. And then you had Connor Unger, who got the win in a 5-1 victory on Friday night. So pretty good weekend overall for the Oilers organization when it comes to wins and losses. And then the goaltenders was a total area of concern. And I think a lot of people and a lot of the noise coming out in regard to the goaltending organizationally has quieted down quite a bit. All right. It is Reed's Read brought to you by Ewell. Yes, Friedrich.
Well, I had. Sorry, I'll let you. I know you got to do that. I got
No.
one more thing that you
No, go ahead.
brought up. Well, you mentioned a fourth line goal.
Yes.
And I imagine we'll hear more about this on my show tomorrow, 3 to 6 p.m. on Edmonton Sports Talk. There might
Great
be a
program.
Lazar love-in from Jason Milne, who about a week and a half ago, I believe, used the line, Curtis Lazar doing the Lord's work on the fourth line. Well, look.
Well done, glue guy.
But the reason we talk about Curtis Lazar is because, we've had, a lot of discussions about Mangiapane and Frederick and some of the younger players. Well, what can you do when you don't play enough? You have to play a certain number of minutes before you can do anything. Well, that's not true. You can make the most of your minutes.
Yeah.
So Curtis Lazar plays 9.5 minutes tonight, gets an assist, is +1, goes 7 out of 11 in the face-off circle for 64%. I don't know what he was in the dot last night, but he got an assist last night, right?
Yep.
And so how does he making an impact and now getting the odd point or goal along the way? So yesterday he goes to the net, causes a disruption. Yes, it gets challenged for goalie interference. Maybe sometimes you don't always get that call, but I'll take a guy going to the net and causing a video review every once in a while. Playing in a straight line. And then tonight, what does he do? Works hard on the forecheck, keeps the puck alive, pass off the pillows. Like, he wasn't like, okay, I got the puck and I got a little bit of breathing room. It's time to dangle, or it's time to do like the big line does and start a sequence of 24 passes before we shoot. It's like, no, that puck's going to the net, right? Find a little seam to get the shot off. Rebound comes out, and Mangiapane basically has an open net to bang it in. So good for Mangiapane to score, but like that's the value of Curtis Lazar, understanding who he is, understanding he needs to play the game in a straight line, understanding he needs to be a little bit disruptive on the forecheck, understanding when he gets the puck, it better go to the net or it better go to a safe area on the ice. So Good for him.
Excellent. I like that. Good shout out to Laser, playing well, creating that opportunity for Mangiapane to bury it. The shot off the pillows, as Benny alluded to earlier as well. Okay, really quickly, before we take a peek ahead here on Reed's Read, Jim Matheson, who we sat with tonight, Riedrich, said that the Oilers do not have cap room for forward recall. I'm looking at the projected cap space on Puckpedia right now, minus 2.492 million, but it says that's the projected cap space, but then current cap space, $270,833. So they couldn't call up a Lane Hudson?
Without having
or Quinn Hudson?
Without having to send down one of the goalies?
I don't think they could, guys, because they have 23 players, right?
Yeah, unless you put Kapanen on IR immediately.
Yeah.
But I think you'd have to put him on LTIR, wouldn't you? So I don't know if the injury's it doesn't sound like it's that bad. I don't think they can call anybody up.
So they have to go 11-7 on Tuesday.
Yeah, Regula would have to play the way I understand it. Yes.
Maybe is it Rip City Step that wants to see Darnell Nurse play wing?
Give it a shot.
Probably wouldn't happen. I think they'd go 11-7. I mean, I don't know. What did they say for Draisaitl next week? So maybe that's
later in the week,
and that was announced Saturday. So maybe this coming Saturday he's back.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can call anybody up. So I think they'd have to go 11-7, and they're obviously keeping the 3 goaltenders.
Just, looking ahead, I think you could survive a little stretch going 11-7 until Leon comes back. You got Jersey, Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's what the statement said.
Yeah. So I'd imagine he misses Tuesday and Thursday, probably.
Yeah.
And then
back for the Washington game on Saturday.
Yeah. That's probably
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The thing is, like, as much as there's the talk about the 3 goaltenders, it's not the 3 goaltenders that are causing the cap crunch.
No.
Like, Ingram and Pickard combined make $2.15 million. Yeah. Right?
And Jari's what, 5.5?
Jari's 5.37.
Right.
Yeah. Now they have put Henrique on LTIR.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the thing. Like, trading the way I see it, the best thing they can do to clear up cap difficulties is to trade Mangiapane at some point.
Right.
Which it sounds like they want to do if they can find someone who will dance there.
Yeah, nothing new according to Dave Pagniato yesterday on Hello Hockey. He's still trying to make it happen. Hasn't come to fruition. All right, Reid Rick, give us a peek ahead to Tuesday.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is this another team you can kind of kick while they're down a little bit? The New Jersey Devils are second last in the Eastern Conference. They have a goal differential, if we want to use that stat again, of -22. So the Oilers' last two games were against the two worst goal differentials in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Now they play the team with the worst goal differential in the East. So, and I know the Devils have some dangerous players, and it seems like ancient history. I believe they beat the Oilers earlier in the season.
Yep.
Goals for per game, though. The New Jersey Devils are 28th at 2.58. Who would have thought this deep into the season? The New Jersey Devils and the Calgary Flames have the exact same goals for per game at 2.58. I don't think anybody would have thought that at the start of the season. So, look, keep up the strong puck play, get another good performance in net. We've seen. There's still some concerns to me about the Oilers' bottom six, but maybe we've seen a little more balance, at least in terms of forechecking and zone time the last couple of games. So keep going with that. This is a big chance on this homestand, right? I mean, all year, from a lot of us were saying it, the team didn't talk about it until it was over, till they got through all those. Like, they wouldn't complain about it while it was happening, but once all those road games were over, they were kind of like, wow, schedule. Like, how we're exhausted, see all the road games we played.
So many road games, guys.
Here's the chance. Good start to it, especially winning the first game, after being in a road game the night before. So, like, here's the chance, right? Like, really bank some points at home going into the Olympic break.
Hey, they bust the slump when it comes to back-to-backs. Do they bust the slump when it comes to 3-game winning streaks?
Well, that's the other thing. That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that. There's the other storyline. Can they finally win 3 in a row in what would be, what game is this coming up for them?
51.
51. So if they don't win tomorrow, they're going to be on the verge of setting a new team record for longest time taking to win 3 games, which it's in my bag. I think it was 50 for you and I've talked. It's 55, the longest they've ever taken to win 3 games in a row.
Was that the 2000 team, 99-2000, or was
I believe it was 91-92.
91-92. That's the team that went to the conference final.
But I think they were third in the division, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't have a great regular season that year.
Reid, you worked your butt off tonight. Get some rest. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the air again.
All right. See you, Tom. See you back.
Okay. Bye, Reid Rick. There you go. Reid's Reid, brought to you by Ewell. Great to have him on board. Great to have Ewell partnered up with us as well. They're your power play specialists, and they're also your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. And you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Let's go to a few texts, and then we're going to get to the turning point of the game as well as the player of the game. Let's go to Hampton Steve. Hampton Steve texts in 780-218-9999. Says, good evening, gentlemen. Solid, stress-free, and a professional weekend by the Oilers. Warmed my heart seeing all the love Nuge got tonight. Only downside is the Kapanen injury. Hopefully the Condors haven't left Alberta yet because Hudson needs to make his way up the QE2. Yeah, and then, we talked about the cap crunch, and they might not be able to do it. So there's that little thing. Let's go to Library. Pat says 2 shutouts in a row. Played well versus teams they're supposed to beat. No complaints from me. When people kept saying they should switch out both goalies, I thought it couldn't be done. Just because Avs did it last season doesn't mean it's easy to do. I fervently hope both Jari and Ingram continue to be stable and solid the rest of the season. It is refreshing. Yeah, and it's been a pleasant breath of fresh air the way Ingram has stepped in after some really shaky numbers down on the farm. I'm not going to go with that one. Let's go to Coach Mike. Says Calgary shipped Hanifin to Vegas as well a couple of years ago. He signed thereafter in regard to the trade today with Rasmus Andersson. Troll says, I still don't think this trade makes Vegas better than the Oilers. They still have no goalies. Aiden Hill, Akira Schmid, and Carter Hart, I think, are the trio. You want to add anything there before we go to Hunter?
Not great. Who would think the Oilers would be comparing goalies and going, I think we win our matchup there. That's times have changed.
Vegas is so aggressive, and they've had Marc-Andre Fleury was their guy for what, 3 years?
Yep.
4 years maybe, and they're in season 9.
Yep.
And they basically forced Fleury out, brought in Leonard. Leonard got hurt. They had Brossoit, Logan Thomson, Aiden Hill, and Jonathan Quick in the same season.
Yes. Yep.
Then they went to Hill and Varlamov and Leonard.
Not Samsonov, you mean?
Oh, Samsonov. Sorry, that's right. They had Yuri Patera in there at one point. I don't know how I remember that. It's
like so weird, so aggressive, so much change. They are always like it. Like their GM Kelly McCrimmon, right?
McCrimmon.
He GMs like how I play GM mode in NHL 26. Like any big guy that's on the trade market, any big free agent, I am going all in and I'm getting them. Just change. Why not?
Yeah.
That's what Vegas does. Marner, Eichel, Stone, Anderson, Hanifin, Hurdle, like they don't care. If there's a big guy in the market that they think fits their lineup, they will get rid of whoever. They let Alex Tuck go in the Eichel trade. They said, Marchessault, you want us a Conn Smythe in your cup run? Yeah, we don't care about you. See you later. It is crazy what they do. They have no loyalty to their guys. They just go all out. They think they go for the best lineup they can, which I guess is credit to them in a way, but also no heart as well.
James in the nasty chat says they're run like a WHL franchise. Oh, funny that with Kelly McCrimmon at the helm, obviously the owner of the Brandon Wheat Kings, and was at the controls there. Hatorio Momes Texas says, boys, back-to-back wins in shutouts, putting up 5+ better than 3 in a row. Is it just me or does that Vegas decor look extremely soft? Lazon is the only guy who's tough, and Podkolzin engaged his flux capacitor, shot him 5 seconds into the future already. Yeah, that was a good fight and really opened our eyes to Podkolzin's ability to fight. We got one of these from Captain Kirk. Emojis. Thank you, Captain Kirk. Live long and prosper. What else do we have? El Presidente says definitely a good work ethic put in the last couple of games by the Oilers. They need to do this again on Tuesday night against the Devils. Continue working hard in working their opponents 3 games in our own. Now they've actually done a really good job, and unfortunately they ran into a hot goalter, couldn't get one past them into the net. El Presidente, that is a run-on sentence. How many beverages tonight at the game?
And I heard a couple last night.
And he had he ran into Atif tonight at the game.
Nice.
I saw that text too. Uncle Dave says, is anyone else sick of Vegas? Always top of the division. Always get all the trades. Always get to sign extensions. I think there's a few people.
Yeah, but they're a few people. They're a team that makes the playoffs, but I mean they won that cup, and since then it's been the Oilers beat them pretty good last year. And I remember the talk right after was something needs to change in Vegas because whatever they got going on isn't working. They're losing the first round, second round. They need to change up. And so they go and they get Mitch Marner. And I mean, you look at his playoff numbers, not great. With a different situation help, who knows? But yeah, I mean, they're Vegas, man. I throw it up. They're Vegas.
They're going to do Vegas things. Very aggressive. And that comes from the owner as well. Bill Foley, he wants them to go all in all the time every year. And they've certainly lived up to that. All right, let's get to your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You have a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. It was this guy's night, and he's the one who got the party started. His goal ended up being the GWG. It came at the 5:55 mark of the first period. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins takes an Evan Bouchard feed, snaps it home, top blocker on Jordan Binnington for his 12th of the year on the power play. Jake Wallman, the secondary assist. It stands up as the game-winning goal on his night. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets the Advantage Sport Medicine turning point of the game because it was all Oilers after that, outside of a small window in the second period where the Blues had a push and Connor Ingram made a bunch of good saves. The Nugent-Hopkins goal just set the night off on the right foot. We do have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins before we get to the player of the game.
We do. Hold on in just 2 seconds. I thought I had him up.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was ready.
I know. Now he is. Now he's good to go.
All right. Let's go to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on his special night.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, obviously special, memorable. What the guys put together and the way they made this night a special night for myself and my family and friends was incredible and something that I'll never forget. And then obviously the fans out there, they're always electric, but the chants and stuff, that doesn't go unnoticed. So just a lot of appreciation tonight.
Right, there was sorry. And then to go in there and rip one top shelf in 5 minutes. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. I haven't scored in a couple of weeks too, and obviously fun to do that on a night like tonight. So yeah, I mean, it is hard to put into words right now, but it was a lot of fun, and I thought the guys played great, and Ingo played outstanding, and I thought we just kept pushing and controlled the game for the most part.
Ryan, there was a point in your career, in and around the time you did that contract, where there were some decisions to make, and it seemed pretty clear your priority was to do what you needed to do to stay here. Here we are years later, 1,000th game, couple of deep cup runs. Does this all feel like this is why you did what you did?
100%, yeah. Yeah, it was, like you said, it was my priority to make it work, whatever needed to be done to stay here. And we'd been building something, and with this group that I felt so close to, and we've gone through it together, and I didn't want to leave that for a second. There was never a question a doubt in my mind that I wanted to go somewhere else and try your luck somewhere else. So I'm very fortunate that they felt the same way. And early in my career that I kind of survived some days. So yeah, I'm just very grateful, and it's been an honor, but at the same time, still some goals to accomplish, and hopefully a long way to go.
What's your racehorse and patience doing these days?
She's just a mare. No, she's retired now.
You should have brought her to the ceremony originally.
Yeah, that was cool. The way that they worked those shirts in, and I think Harry got his hands on that, and pretty creative.
You guys have had a lot of different shirts this year. What did you think of the shirt? What was your
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be a white T-shirt with some old picture of young Nuge on it or something. So. Pretty creative, pretty cool. I'll definitely want to take one of those home, and I'm sure there was a group chat kind of discussing which route to go, and yeah, I thought it was very well done.
So you guys just played 5 games in 7 days, and in 4 of the games you allowed 0 or 1 goals, and the other game you guys still got a point though. What do you think of that defense? Yeah,
it's kind of shows the strides that we've started to take defensively. It starts from goaltender out, and I think our D are playing outstanding, just the way that they're holding lines and not allowing other teams to get into our zone easy at all. They're standing, and as a forward, we got to be coming back to make that more comfortable for them. But there's still steps that we want to take here to get to another level. But I think as of late, it's a great sign.
Great stuff there from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And good job by Brad Harrison, equipment man extraordinaire, coming up with that funny shirt that the guys were wearing with all the little Nuge heads on it. And Yeah, he's right. There were some dark times. I remember them vividly. I was there with him for those during Oilers TV days. And actually, did you see my Instagram post with those? I found a couple of old pictures of the Nuge and I from back in the day. And he is still young Nuge. I know he referred to himself as young Nuge. He is still young Nuge, and he still looks young. So great stuff there. And I like how Titch brought up, oh, man, you score 5 minutes into your 1,000th game as well. It ends up being the game-winning goal. Great stuff. And he talked about, the other thing too, Benny, is he talked about when the times were tough. I think back to 18 and 19 when the team missed the playoffs, and he had a pretty feisty postseason garbage bag day interview, scrum, whatever.
Right.
And I actually pulled him aside and I was like, what's going on, dude? That was the most angry I've seen you. And he's like, I'm tired of this crap, man. He's like, we shouldn't be missing the playoffs after going to game 7 of the second round 2 seasons ago. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah. He's like, this is BS. And they turned it around, and then they've had a great run since, and he's been a big part of that. So that's great to see. Congratulations to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and nice to hear him there celebrating his 1,000th game, a 5-0 victory, and another goal from him that ends up being the winner. Benny, you ready for Damon Bunting Player of the Game?
Well, yeah, it's going to be, spoiler alert, going to be along the same topic.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Take it away, buddy.
Let's get to it. Damon Bunting, Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on damonbunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Overwriting the rules that I have for Player of the Game. It's got to go to him. I mean, how poetic to score 5 minutes into your 1,000th game, where they had the whole ceremony and all of that. So, I mean, I said on the pregame, power play look might give Nuge some points there, and sure enough, gets him his goal. So, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I mean, one of the most loved Oilers I think of all time. I feel like pretty safe to say that the first Oiler ever to get all 1,000 of his first NHL games as an Edmonton Oiler, which is nice to see. So Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Player of the Game, man. It can't go to anyone else. He's Player of the Game today for Damon Bunting.
Well done, Benny. Nobody's going to argue that one. The Oilers get the job done. A 5-0 victory over the St. Louis Blues. They now continue this homestand Tuesday night against the New Jersey Devils, looking for their first winning streak of the season, 9th opportunity to get a winning streak going, and they've blown all 8 prior opportunities. Hey, they snapped this, slump in the second half of back-to-backs. They blank both teams that they face on back-to-back nights in Vancouver, and then tonight against the St. Louis Blues at home. So we'll see if they can bust another streak and get an actual winning streak going on Tuesday. All right. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Big thank you to everybody who watched. Big thank you to everybody who listened. We appreciate you. Sorry for the little delay at the start. We got all those technical difficulties sorted out. This game will be discussed ad nauseum on our station tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. with Dusty, Eric, and Trev on the Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. And that'll continue on in the Hangout with Awanik. And then that'll continue on the Lock Shop. And then you'll get the Oil Stream. And then you're going to get ESC Afternoons. And then you're going to get the Reid Wilkins Show. So tons of phenomenal content right here on EST starting at 6 a.m. with the boys. And lots of great stuff to talk about. Lots of positives in oil country for sure. Nugent-Hopkins of the Oilers get the win on his 1,000th game with him picking up the game-winning goal. For Ben Thomson, for Reid Wilkins, for Matt Kassian, I am Tom Gazzola saying have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Talk to you later.